Hi there and welcome to week 4 class. Our focus this week is more based on browser compatibility and standards and things like that that are out there, and some best practices. The biggest thing that I want you to keep in mind this week, browser compatibility is not as big of an issue as it once was, but still there. A lot of it hinges around the mobile platforms more than the Internet Explorer versus Firefox issue. Years ago when that whole thing came up, it was more the Internet Explorer Netscape issue. But obviously we know that's long gone. So our focus really needs to be around, some of the add-ons and the bells and whistles and the plugins, if they'll work or not. Certain browsers support Flash better than Java and vice versa. But then when it comes down to it, then it goes back to tablets like the iPads, Android, Surface, which ones will play nice. It's the idea that Java works better on an iPad but can't support Flash, but then you look at the other way with the Android, they can do Flash but don't play with Java all that well. So, but usually for classroom websites, that's not as big of an issue because your classroom websites are more pictures, graphics, files, not usually the bell and whistle type stuff. But with that said, we talked this week a little bit about some best practices. Some are there that should be considered, some are not. Like in the PowerPoint, it does talk about always using things like lowercase. Websites do differentiate between upper and lowercase, but just be aware of that. I do recommend the one thing about no spaces. Do keep spaces away. That can just throw things off. And file organization. Just like I encourage anybody on their computer to keep their files organized, make sure on your websites you keep them as organized as possible. I know this week we do talk about like FTPs and things like that, and usually for teachers that's not as big of an issue as it was years ago, where you were hosting your own websites and things of that nature. We're now more content driven through like the Weebly's, the Schoologies, the Google, the things like that. So that's not as much of an issue because your files are kind of where they are. But at the same time, keep it as organized as possible because it's easier for you to find stuff, quicker load times, things of that nature, easier to replace files when needed, things of that nature. So that's kind of just a quick intro to what week 4 is about. As always, you got questions, let me know. Several of you have sent me questions and it's been working out quite well. So if you got anything else, let me know and I'll talk to you later this week. Thanks.